Stop everything you're doing right now because what I'm about to tell you could save you from being stranded in the worst possible way this winter. Picture this. A record-breaking snowstorm has just been announced. Temperatures are plummeting, and within hours, shelves at your local stores are wiped clean of essentials. The roads are covered in ice, the power goes out, and suddenly you're left with nothing but frustration and regret, wishing you'd taken action sooner. It sounds extreme, but if you've ever lived through a tough winter, you know exactly how quickly things can escalate from calm to chaos. Now imagine being that person who walks into a store to grab some last-minute supplies, only to find rows upon rows of empty shelves. No food, no batteries, no warm blankets, nothing to help you get through the coming storm. You're left asking yourself, why didn't I prepare earlier? It's a scenario that happens all too often, and it leaves people feeling helpless and unprepared for the harsh conditions. But here's the good news. You don't have to be one of those people. You can take control of the situation now by making a few smart moves before everyone else starts to panic. Winter is creeping closer every day, and if you think you've got time to wait, let me tell you, once that first snowflake falls and the weather forecast starts to buzz with warnings, it's already too late. That's when people flood the stores, grabbing anything and everything, and you're left picking up the scraps. Trust me, you don't want to be stuck in that last-minute rush. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 essential items you must get right now, before the crowds, before the shortages, and before you're left wishing you had acted sooner. This isn't just about avoiding inconvenience. It's about securing your peace of mind, protecting yourself and your family, and ensuring that when winter hits with full force, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. Have you ever been caught in a winter storm unprepared, scrambling to find something you desperately need? It's a feeling of helplessness that no one should have to experience. Whether it was trying to find a backup heater or realizing too late that you didn't have enough food, that sinking feeling of being unprepared is one you won't forget easily. But this year, we're making sure that's not your story. By the end of this video, you're going to be fully stocked and ready to face whatever winter throws your way. From must-have gear to keep you warm, to practical items that offer security during the most unpredictable weather, we've got it all covered. And the best part? I've lined up cost-saving strategies so you can be fully prepared without going broke in the process. Being prepared doesn't mean spending a fortune. It means being smart about what you buy and when you buy it. So, stick with me, and you'll not only save yourself from a winter nightmare, but you'll also save some serious cash in the process. Now let's break down these essential items step by step because your future self will thank you for the actions you take today. Whether it's a surprise snowstorm, a power outage, or freezing temperatures, you'll be one step ahead of everyone else. And that's where you want to be. Let's get started, because winter waits for no one, and the time to act is now. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Wealthy Penny, where we focus on making sure your money isn't just sitting around, but working for you, especially when the going gets tough. And let's be honest, winter is one of those times when every penny counts. So, if you're here to find smart, budget-friendly ways to prepare for the cold months ahead, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into winter prepping essentials that are not only life-saving but won't force you to take out a second mortgage to afford them. I'm talking about real, practical solutions that will keep you and your loved ones warm and safe without draining your wallet. No fancy gadgets, no overpriced products, just solid advice that works for me, and it will work for you too, no matter how low your budget is. Before we get on the list, I want to hear from you. Where are you at with your winter prepping right now? Have you already started building up your stash of essentials? Or are you like me sometimes, waiting until the very last minute, hoping for the best? Let's be real, we've all been there, so don't feel bad if you haven't even thought about it yet. Drop a comment down below and let me know if you're fully prepared or if you're planning to rush in when the first snowflake hits. I'm really curious to see how many of us are guilty of procrastination. Also, if you find this video helpful or you want more down-to-earth, practical tips on staying financially smart through tough times, go ahead and hit that like button right now. Trust me, it helps more people find these tips, and who doesn't want to save some cash while staying warm this winter, right? And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because we've got a lot more prepping tips, budget hacks, and money-saving strategies coming your way. You're not going to want to miss what's next. Whether it's preparing for emergencies or just making sure your hard-earned money stretches further, we're going to help you get through this winter without stress or financial strain. So stick around because the real value starts right here. All right, let's get real for a second. What's the one thing we all take for granted during winter until it's too late? That's right, energy. Picture this scenario. A massive winter storm rolls through, snow piling up and out of nowhere. Bam! The power cuts out. Suddenly, you're plunged into darkness, the heat shuts off, and the temperature inside starts dropping fast. Now you're sitting there wondering how long you'll be stuck in a freezing house. Maybe it's just a couple of hours, or maybe, worst case scenario, you're looking at days without power. Can you imagine how long those hours would feel with no heat, no lights, and no way to keep warm? It's a chilling thought, right? Well, it doesn't have to be your reality. This is exactly why having a backup energy source is not just a luxury, it's a necessity. I'm talking about a small generator, a solar-powered charger for your devices, or even something as simple as extra propane tanks for a portable heater. These options could be the difference between being cozy and comfortable during a power outage or shivering through a long, cold night. You might be thinking, do I need to invest in something like this? Let me tell you, yes, you do. The peace of mind alone is worth it, and when the storm hits, you'll be thanking yourself that you prepared ahead of time. Let me share a personal story that drove this point home for me. Last year, we had a freak ice storm. It came out of nowhere, knocked out power lines all across town, and left us without heat for days. Let me tell you, I was not ready. No backup heat source, no generator, and no plan. I was scrambling, layering on every blanket in the house just to keep warm. That experience was a wake-up call, and as soon as the storm passed, I invested in a portable generator. And let me tell you, it was hands down one of the best decisions I've ever made. You don't truly understand the importance of having a backup energy source until you're sitting there in the cold, huddled under a mountain of blankets, wishing you'd done something sooner. Now, before you start thinking, but isn't a generator or backup energy setup super expensive? Don't worry, it doesn't have to break the bank. You can find great deals if you shop smart. Keep an eye on sales, check out refurbished options, or even buy used ones if they fit your budget. Yes, it's an investment, but it pays off in a big way when you're the only house on the block staying warm and powered up during a storm. So, whether you go for a generator, a portable heater, or even a solar charger, just make sure you've got something in place. Because trust me, when the power goes out and the temperature drops, you'll be so glad you didn't wait until it was too late. Moving further, the second on the list is something we all love: food. Now, we all enjoy the idea of a cozy snow day curled up at home, but that dream can quickly turn into a panic when you realize you can't leave the house and your fridge is practically bare. Imagine a blizzard hits, and within hours, grocery stores are wiped clean. You walk into the store and there's no milk, no bread, and certainly no comfort snacks left. The panic is real, and at that moment, you might find yourself fighting over the last loaf of bread with someone who's just as desperate. But here's the good news. That doesn't have to be you. This is where non-perishable food becomes your best friend. Think about it. Canned beans, rice, pasta, peanut butter. These are the MVPs of winter storm prepping. These are the foods that last forever and can keep you fed when the fridge is empty, the power's out, or you just can't get to the store. Even better, you want to aim for foods that require minimal water or electricity to prepare. Because let's be real, when a storm hits, the last thing you want is a meal that needs a fully functioning kitchen to make. Think simple, hearty, and shelf-stable. Let me give you a little real-life example. Last winter, my friend called me in a total panic. A storm had hit, and she hadn't thought to stock up beforehand. Her pantry? Empty. And to make things worse, by the time she made it to the store, everything was gone. There was nothing left. She had to get by with a random assortment of snacks and whatever was hiding in the back of her freezer. It wasn't pretty. That's why I'm telling you, don't be like my friend. You've got the chance to get ahead of the storm. Stock up now while the shelves are still full, and when the snow starts piling up outside, you'll be sitting inside, fully prepped and relaxed, not stressing about what's for dinner. And here's another pro tip. Buy in bulk if you can. Warehouse stores like Costco or Sam's Club, and even some online retailers, offer serious discounts on bulk buys. This way, you're not just prepping smart, you're also saving money. Plus, if you don't end up needing everything this winter, guess what? Those cans of beans, boxes of pasta, and jars of peanut butter will still be good next year. It's a win-win situation. Your future self will thank you, trust me. So, take a little time now to stock up on those essentials, and you'll avoid the chaos later. When everyone else is scrambling to find food, you'll be sitting comfortably, knowing you've got enough to last through any storm that comes your way. Now let's tackle something we often take for granted. Clean water, the third item. You might be thinking, it's winter, I've got snow if I need water, right? But let's pause right there. Melting snow isn't as straightforward as it seems. It's not just about shoveling it into a pot and heating it. Plus, let's be real. You never know when your pipes might freeze or even break, leaving you without a reliable source of water. And have you ever found yourself without water during a storm? It's one of the most helpless feelings you can experience. You can't cook, can't drink, and you might even find yourself in a bind when it comes time to flush the toilet. It's a frustrating situation that no one wants to deal with, which is why having extra water stored away is not just smart, it's crucial. So, how much water should you have on hand? A good rule of thumb is to aim for at least 1 gallon per person per day for a week. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds like a lot. But trust me, it's far better to have it and not need it than to find yourself scrambling for water when the storm hits and the stores are closed. Consider investing in some water jugs, portable filters, or even filling up a few pitchers right before a storm rolls in. Having these on hand can make all the difference. You can find affordable, reusable water containers that can hold large amounts of water. They're typically inexpensive and can be refilled as needed, making them a practical addition to your winter prep. This may seem like a small investment, but let me assure you, it could be life-saving. When you're hunkered down during a blizzard and your taps run dry, you'll be incredibly grateful for every gallon of water you stored away. It's the kind of preparation that gives you peace of mind. So don't overlook this essential item. Make sure you're stocked up. Your future self will thank you when you're cozy and hydrated, rather than panicking over melting snow for a drink. All right, let's get down to business. The next essential item on the list is medical supplies. I know this isn't the most exciting topic, and trust me, no one wants to think about needing these essentials during a winter storm. However, the reality is that during severe weather conditions, help may not arrive right away. The last thing you want is to be caught off guard and unprepared when an emergency strikes. A well-stocked first aid kit is non-negotiable. Think about it. Bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any prescription medications that you or your family might need. You should aim to have enough supplies to last at least a week. It's one of those things that seems like overkill until you find yourself in a situation where you need it. Let me share a little story to drive this point home. Last winter, I had a neighbor who experienced a slip on some ice, resulting in a badly sprained ankle. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it to the hospital due to the storm, and to make matters worse, she didn't have any medical supplies at home to help with the pain or swelling. She was stuck, dealing with a lot of discomfort and stress during a time when help was not readily available. Don't let that happen to you. Now you might be wondering about the cost. The good news is that you don't need to go overboard with your spending to prepare. Most of these essential items can be picked up inexpensively from the dollar store or in bulk at discount retailers. It's all about being prepared without breaking the bank. Take the time to gather your supplies now and organize a first aid kit that can handle common winter injuries and illnesses. It's a small investment in your safety and peace of mind. When the storm hits and you're sitting at home, you'll be grateful to know you've got everything you need right at your fingertips, rather than scrambling around trying to find something you wish you had put together beforehand. So, don't wait. Assemble your medical supplies today and ensure you're ready for anything winter throws your way. Finally, let's have a serious conversation about staying warm. Sure, your heater might be working just fine right now, but what if it goes out? Or consider this. What if you're trying to save on your heating bill during those long winter months? Being proactive is key, and layering up with warm clothing, along with having extra blankets, can make all the difference when the temperature plummets. Imagine all the thermal socks, insulated jackets, and a solid stash of blankets at your disposal. These simple items can transform a freezing night into a cozy one. Even if your power goes out, you'll be warm enough to get through it, and you won't be left shivering under the cold, dark conditions. Let me tell you, I used to think my regular blankets were sufficient for winter. However, there was one particularly brutal winter where I learned just how bitterly cold it can get. I was completely unprepared, and I realized I needed to step up my game. Since then, I've made it a point to keep a few heavy-duty blankets stored away, and I can't recommend them highly enough. They truly make a world of difference in comfort during those frigid nights. Now here's the best part. You don't need to spend a fortune on fancy items to keep warm. Thrift stores and clearance sales can be your best friends when it comes to stocking up on warm clothes and blankets. If you know where to look, you can find quality warm gear for next to nothing, which means you can prep without straining your budget. Are these tips resonating with you so far? What's your #1 must-have winter prepping item? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Engaging with our community is what makes this channel special, and your input is invaluable. If you found any of these tips useful, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It not only helps the channel grow, but also lets me know that you're enjoying the content and want to see more practical advice. Let's make sure we're all prepared for whatever winter throws at us. All right, let's take a moment to do a quick recap of everything we've discussed so far in this video. First and foremost, you need a backup energy source. Don't find yourself caught freezing in the dark when the power goes out. Second, stock up on non-perishable food. Take action now to ensure you have what you need before the shelves get cleared in a frenzy. Third, ensure you have a clean water supply, especially in case your pipes freeze or there are any disruptions to your regular water service. Fourth, keep your medical supplies up to date so you're prepared for any unforeseen circumstances. And finally, make sure you've got warm clothes and blankets to stay cozy during the coldest nights when you need them most. Now, before you head off, I'm excited to share that in my upcoming videos, I will be showing you how to create a winter emergency budget. This budget will empower you to remain financially secure, no matter what challenges arise during the season. So make sure to stay tuned for that valuable content. Remember, this isn't about succumbing to panic. It's all about being prepared. A little planning and foresight now can save you a significant amount of stress later on. Stay safe, stay smart, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to give it a like and share it with someone who could benefit from these essential tips. Let's enjoy this winter together, coming out stronger and more prepared than ever. Your well-being matters, and together, we can make this winter a season of comfort and safety.